When you're stressed to the max, how effectively do you communicate with your employees? As humans, we can get triggered and feel threatened by just one word, by the look on someone's face or the tone of their voice. As leaders, you have an opportunity and a responsibility to use your communication to create safety and trust, even when you're stressed. So how's that going for you? Since the advent of brain imaging, scientists have been studying what goes on in people's heads during conversations, and they found that trust and distrust reside in two different networks, but they operate as one system, where only trust or distrust can rule. They can't coexist equally. That's why it's even more important, especially when you're stressed, to be aware of what part of the other person's brain you're impacting. The best way then to communicate effectively when you're stressed is to avoid using trust killers in your conversation. There are two parts to this. The first part is identify what happens to you when you get triggered. Do you go into fight, flight, freeze, or appease mode? Do you fight back, flee and isolate yourself, freeze because your mind goes blank, or try to please the person and maybe get passive aggressive? If you learn to identify your trigger signs before you get triggered, you'll be able to access your higher level brain functions where your empathy, judgment, and social strategic skills lie. If you're anything like me, it's way easier to tell myself to stop saying things that would kill trust, such as criticizing or judging or pushing someone away when I'm too busy. But once you get triggered, all bets are off. It's way too easy to accidentally let out a trust killer before you realize it. Building trust is not just thinking about rainbows and cupcakes, especially when you've been triggered. For me, when I choose to have a trust-building conversation, or I'm showing my clients how to have theirs, there are 3 steps I use. The first step is, since stress is wanting to resist the present moment, be in the present moment, even if someone brought you something you don't want in your life right now. The second step is tell the person how you're feeling so they can empathize with your state. And the third step is ask them questions to find out their opinion or perspective. All 3 of these steps are trust builders. You can positively influence your brain chemistry even in one moment. It only takes 0.07 seconds to shift someone's neurochemicals from distrust to trust. By knowing the meaning that you're projecting into your conversations, you can change the quality of your conversations, which affects the quality of your employee relationships and ultimately the quality of your team's culture.